Welcome to another episode of When as One Gospel Love Edition. I am Aviance.
I am Caitlin.
I am Aramis.
I'm Pastor D.
So today we are going to talk about the skills of sexuality and sensuality. I am going to try to ring him in as much as possible during this podcast.
Okay. All right.
He's got a lot to say on this.
As much as possible for content reasons and also for my sanity. There's two reasons here.
Oh my goodness.
So how do we want to start this one, Papa D?
I don't know why folks think the pastor ain't supposed to be getting that thing.
It has nothing to do with you being a pastor, Papa D.
Nobody want to hear their pops and how
right. There's nothing about you being a pastor.
Okay. All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
But I mean, it works both ways because he don't want to hear when we got to say something too. So
It's different when it's the children to the pops. It's different.
That's how we feel.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, you don't want to hear me talking about, okay. How about, okay. Yeah.
The skills of sexuality.
Actually, let's get into some stats.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's some exciting stuff. So, bro, you actually looked up some stats for us when it comes to sex and marriage. So, what's something you found out?
we found a few. A study done from the independent website found that 75% of couples have sex only in the dark.
And that's a problem to me. I just don't. That's an issue. That thing was designed to be seen. Listen, you're supposed to see the toes curl. You're supposed to see the body being gripped. You're supposed to see that muscle in motion. Is that too much? Is that good?
No, you good.
Oh, okay. You're supposed to see all of that. I'm saying. You don't think so?
I think so, but again, I mean, we're talking about 75% of couples. So does that include just marriage, or that includes, just people who are having sex?
Everybody.
Okay.
Wow.
Everybody across the board.
Folks like to do it in the dark. Why?
But go ahead.
So reading on in the study, they found that for men, they generally like the lights on. Visual creatures, we like
Absolutely.
to see. You know what I'm saying?
I want to see your face, man.
Exactly.
I want to see.
I want to see the shaking. I want all that. Right?
I want to see the bouncing.
But
I want to see all that stuff.
All right.
This is just about the time you start.
I'm telling you.
I want to see that muscle. I want to see the back, all muscle up.
So anyway, the study showed for.
Folks start nodding head like, yeah.
She got some behind the scenes stuff that she's a very private person. But so women find that the lights off create more of an intimate setting.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that.
Well, I ain't talking about neon light. I ain't talking about neon light. I'm talking about a nice red, purple, something soft. Like, no, it definitely.
You got something like that in your room?
Without a doubt. I got the red light, I got the mirrors, I got the music, I got it all in mine. It's like, man, we do it all. Ain't no playing around with that.
Okay.
I mean, y'all had a lot of years to
we had
do a lot.
Yeah, we have 31 years to perfect that thing. To perfect that thing.
It's still going.
I mean, it take me 31 years to perfect it.
Well, I understand.
We're real good at it now at 31.
That's great, Papa.
Caitlin got us a salt light.
A salt light.
Oh, those are nice.
Emily and Cecile.
Yeah.
Oh, see. Well, actually, we have something similar, but it's like it also emits a scent and has a light on it, and you can change the colors to red, yellow, purple, and so it has an array of colors you can set it at, right? But it's the perfect amount of light for you to see everything you need to see, right? I'm gonna go back to the Word of God. So prior to the fall, there was no dark like we see it today. It was the darkest it got was a pinkish color, so they could see everything.
Right.
They can see it going on. They can see everything. But the ambiance. You
have a choice out of it.
The ambiance that you're talking about with the light is all of that goes into the pleasures of sexuality. Mm-hmm. All of that goes into the idea of creating a atmosphere of romance, an atmosphere of passion and intimacy. All of that, from the lighting to the music to the settings to the sounds, all of that makes a difference. It's just, I don't know, why folks would not want to see nothing, right? I really believe it. I really believe that the idea was for you to be able to look your partner in their eyes, like eyeball. Like that's one of the most intimate things that can take place between the husband and the wife during that sexual act, is to look into her eyes and see the response in her face, and to see her eyes do what they do. I know most folks have what they call bedroom eyes, the sexiness in their eyes. You can see it.
Yeah.
Like you can see her being pleased. You can see him being pleased. That's what it's all about. Like with the lights out, you can't see none of that.
Yeah.
Right? But that's what
I
we want to
agree.
do. That's what we
Okay.
want to do.
What's another stat? Give us another stat.
So another stat, and this is found on.
This the big one. This the big one right here.
Yeah, this is
Lack
the one
of
you really don't like. Yeah, this one got the biggest rise out of pop. I'm just telling y'all right now. So the study on men's health found that.
Do your job.
Can I finish the stat, Pop? Let me get this thing out.
I'm not gonna vote for New England. What's his name? Belichick. Do your job.
Yeah, that's right. No days off. No days off. Matter of fact, that one might work better here. No days off.
Right.
So 49% of married women don't orgasm. They don't.
Come on, fellas.
Right? That's 49% of men that are not getting the job done.
I'm putting it on the
They
dudes.
taking days off.
I'm putting it on the dudes, man. You gotta know what to do. You gotta study that thing.
They're taking days off.
You gotta examine that thing. You gotta scrutinize.
I'm sorry.
Listen, my response. No, that's what they're doing. It's all about them.
Right.
Yeah.
That's lazy.
They're taking it off. Like I want to know what makes you, Niagara Falls like. What makes you, perk up? What makes you come alive? What makes that thing swell up? What I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know all of that stuff. I'm going to study that. What moves do I need to make in order to get you to the point to where you calling my name like you ain't never called my name? I want to know. You calling me all kinds of names. Actually, you might call me out of my name. I want to know. I want to know. What gets you to quaking and shaking and cussing and fussing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
If that's the situation now, again, you might have some folk who, some women who just they're gonna do what they're gonna do.
Right.
But for the most part, I think most women, they want to enjoy sex just as much as men. Like that's the design of it. When the word of God says to the woman, your desire shall be for your husband. That word desire, it means to long after, to want to be under. It's the idea of it. It's to want to connect with. It means to long after. So there should be a desire for a wife to be in that intimate sexual setting with her husband. That's the idea of it. The thing is so important. It's so important. Paul used the word as it relates to the sexual relationship between a husband and a wife. He says, defraud not. In other words, it's illegal. That's illegal for you to say, no. That's illegal for you to go a prolonged period of time. If we really want to be technical about it, the Bible really only gives you one legitimate reason for you to say no.
Fast.
That's when you're fasting, right? And let me just, for the record, Sister Liz, I ain't never said no because we was fasting. We found another time to fast, right? The point is that desire, that longing, she should have it. And if she has that, then fellas, you got to figure that thing out.
Right.
You got to figure it out. You got to figure out what makes her go to where she needs to go.
So, as I told you before, though, some men have said that if a woman doesn't know her body, then, how is the man supposed to know how to please her when she doesn't know what she wants to please her in that way?
She don't have to know.
Right. You got to find a way.
Right. She don't have to know. I mean, we're gonna do a thing with the husbands, but we have a sex education class where we talk about, moves to make, whether she know her body or not. She gonna respond. When you do something, she gonna respond. Like when you touch that thing the way it's supposed to be touched, when you kiss it like it's supposed to be kissed, you nibble on it like it's supposed to be nibbled on, she gonna respond. Her response gonna say enough. She get the squirming and moving and shaking. She get the, she get the moaning and groaning. I done found something out. I done discovered something. Right? I done discovered something. And you write that thing down. You put that in your memory bank. Right? And then you just gotta have enough in your repertoire, enough moves to make that she understands, that you get to understand her body. She'll understand herself then. Right? You gotta know how gentle she wants to be touched. You gotta know how firm she wants to be touched. You gotta know how firm she wants to be held. You gotta know how loosely she wants to be held. All those things matter. You gotta know how much of your body weight she wants to be on top of her. You got every little thing. I'm talking about every little detail matters. Yeah. Right? When it's and it's the husband's responsibility to understand that and to know that. She's gonna respond to his attention to detail. Mm-hmm. If he's paying attention to detail, she'll begin to pay attention to detail. If he's very observant, he's very cautious in how he approaches the situation, then she's going to approach it with a delicacy. She's going to be delicate about how she handles him, right? So all of these things go into the orgasmic experience. The ultimate goal is for I don't know if I want to get that one away. But anyway,
look at you.
yeah, I'm doing good. But we want to get to the point to where we're both enjoying the sexual relationship and get out of it what God intended for us to have, right? For we define marriage, and one of the components in that definition is the pleasures of marriage. There's pleasures associated with oneness, right? I had a thought, right? See if I can capture it as it relates to that. That the voice of we're gonna get to that. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Stats. Okay, this is the second stat.
Third stat.
I'm sorry.
Okay, this is third stat. Go ahead.
So, a study on WebMD showed that 47%.
This is an abomination right here.
Okay, Papa D.
47% of married couples have sex less than once.
That's an abomination. Paul just said it was illegal. Folk need to go to jail. Folk need to go to jail. Folk need to be arrested, arraigned, and put in prison for this foolishness.
Less than once a week.
That's what? 40 times a year? 50 sometimes a year?
That's less than 52 times a year.
That's definitely less.
And you wonder why folks breaking up. You wonder why folks run down the street.
Okay, but again, like I think Caitlin had said before, if only 49...
Yeah, what y'all think about that? What y'all think about once a week?
That shouldn't be happening.
Right.
Okay. Why?
Why are you looking at me like that?
I'm looking at both of y'all. Why? Why shouldn't that be happening?
Ask the married one.
Why shouldn't that be happening?
Why shouldn't that be happening, Kate?
I mean, I just naturally wanted more than once a week. I don't know. I enjoy that time.
No, that's good. All right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. You enjoy that time.
Right.
So naturally,
Yes.
once a week ain't cutting it.
I mean, no.
No, that's great, but that's how it's supposed to be because the sexual relationship was designed to bring a level of closeness that nothing else can. A level of intertwining that nothing else can. A level of oneness, a degree of oneness that only the sexual relationship can fulfill. Once a week don't even come close to cutting the connection that's designed for you to have as a husband and a wife. It's just illegal.
But maybe the sex isn't fulfilling because if 49% of women isn't having orgasms, that's kind of close to the reason why 47% will be having sex less than what's
right. 100%. But again, we go back to the solution is for husbands to do your job. You got one responsibility in that matter. Help her get to the roof, man. Help her get to the roof of the
Help her get
to the finish line.
That's it.
That's one. But again, most husbands don't go into the sexual encounter with that on their mind. You know, and there's times and there's times within the relationship that a husband and wife will she be like, this is about you right now, right? Okay, when she give you the green light, then go after it. But if she don't give you that green light, then your focus. Imagine if all of your mental powers, your emotional powers, your physical powers, and your physical attributes went into pleasing her and getting her to that climactic point. And imagine if all of her physical attributes and her intellectual power and her emotional power went into that to please you. You're talking about an explosive. You're talking about a powerful. You're talking about an engaging sexual encounter, right? But if my mindset is all about me, and he's secondary or she's secondary, then you're gonna have folk with non-orgasm want to do it once a week.
Now, this is something that I've been
I'm
noticing.
talking about 31 years strong.
Happening.
I'm talking about 31 years strong. Like it just first time it was yesterday.
Was I talking? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you was talking, but something came up.
But
I'm talking about 31 years strong. Listen, this thing ain't supposed to have no end to it.
Right.
The excitement and the pleasures and the passion of the sexual relationship, that's not supposed to have an end to it. It actually should get stronger and stronger. It actually should get stronger. Your desire, your passion for your husband or your wife should get stronger. She should become more irresistible the longer you stay married to her.
That means that they should be taking care of themselves too, because some people let themselves go.
Right. You have to. That's why one of our components of growing into oneness together has to do with the health component. Mm-hmm. Everything from nutrition to working out to training to staying healthy, to staying in shape. Because listen, man, it takes some energy to get that thing done the way it's supposed to be done, man. Listen, it takes some energy. Listen, I'm talking about having a nice little workout. That's how I approach. This is workout for me, man. I'm going after this thing.
No doubt.
It takes some energy.
No doubt.
Like, you burning some good calories when you get that thing going right.
Right.
I'm talking about sweating. I'm talking about fatigue. And I'm talking about muscle burning out. I'm talking about all that stuff.
So
Squats.
you
all
should
that stuff
definitely be
matters.
closing your ring on your Apple Watch with that exercise.
Oh
on,
yeah,
huh?
you getting your calories
Oh,
in.
yeah.
You getting your time in. You getting your energy burn. Right. That is all a part of it. So we have to give the attention to everything that leads up to that moment, from how we handle each other physically to how we communicate each other from the moment we wake up. We were talking about on the call on Monday that the sexual encounter begins the moment you wake up in the morning with your spouse. That's when it starts, right? I start working on the evening activities
In the morning.
the first time when we wake up, when you greet them with the morning kiss, and what you say to her throughout the day, and what you say to him throughout the day, the text messages you send him, you know, the way you look at him when you see him, the way you compliment her when she gets all, you know, the way she want to get. All of these things matter, right? You know, y'all go in there and play with your face, do whatever y'all got to do.
Right.
Get ready for the day.
Right, you let her know, listen, I'm liking the way them things rocking on you right now. Like, you rocking them thing good, right? Like, that thing look good on you right now, right? Whatever you know, right? We just went through the love language stuff. Whatever you know that, you know, turns her on and is going to make her feel like she's all that throughout the day, man, that's when it begins. That makes the energy and the effort to go into creating the atmosphere a whole lot easier in the nighttime.
Well, I will say though, some women, they are slipping on their pimping, because I've been noticing a little trend happening where women are not okay.
No, go ahead. Slipping on it, pimping.
They are. Women are not okay with going down on men no more.
What in the world is the
What's wrong with
And
them?
Like
Wow.
they don't like to do it. They don't like to do it. And I never knew.
Is there a reason? Like, it's like...
So oral sex is an issue it's a growing issue with women.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
the Bible talks about the marriage is honorable and the bed undefiled, and I think that comes down to, you know, personal preference. I know some men that don't like to do it. Some couples that don't do it at all, right? I've heard some preachers preach that it ain't supposed to be happening. So I mean, again, when you're talking about this particular aspect of the love relationship, then it's to the discretion of the couple. If that's what it is, that's what it is. I don't know. I don't know why that particular trend is taking place, but I mean, if that's what it is, then that's what it is. A husband and a wife have to come to an agreement on what that's going to be and how far they're going to go. And I mean, we were just talking about whips and chains earlier, right? Like,
And listen, I'm trying to get a custom bib made.
a custom bed.
Bib.
Oh, bib.
Join around my neck, tuck it in my shirt.
That's what I'm trying to get a custom bib. I like that. Right. The point is,
It's supposed to be Thanksgiving every day. Every day.
Listen, man.
Every day.
What the things that take place in that setting, man, is between them. So, but if that's the case, I just, as a man, as you said, like I want to see every inch, I want to see every crack, I want to see every crevice. I want to see what's going on. No, but that's we had a subject matter talking about the sculpture of the woman.
Yeah.
Like when God brought that woman to Adam, he said, I'm going to bring Adam something that every inch of this woman is going to drive him crazy. Like he's gonna be frothing at the mouth when he see this thing. When he look at from the toes to the top of the head, he gonna say, "Man, this mine. I'm taking this. Ain't nobody's mine. It's coming to me.
I'm taking this.
I'm taking this. This is mine." That's what he did. The Bible said when God presented him, he looked at it. He says, "No. This one coming with me. This one mine. This belong to me." She looked like she came out of me, right? Yeah, she came out of me. She's mine. I'm taking her. And I'm talking about every inch. When God designed, and the idea of that word made there, it speaks of a work of art. It speaks of the artist's greatest creation. That's the idea that went into how God meticulously took his time to fashion, to shape, to make the shapes that he knew that it would turn the man on, to give her the edges that he knew would turn the man on, to give her the distinction, to give her the jawline, to give her the keenness, to give her the curvation, the curves in the hips. I'm talking about everything, the curves in the feet, everything was designed to attract and turn the man on. That's how much time God took to create the woman from her femininity, which is a magnet for masculinity. It's designed to bring everything closer and together, right? And that's just the physical, right? When we talk about the mental and the emotional, you're talking about going to a whole nother level of oneness. You're talking about an explosion that takes place in the bedroom when you're physically, when you're emotionally connected, when you're mentally engaged, when I can see everything that's taking place during that moment, and I can feel the build up to that climactic experience, and then you get to that point to where the combustion is getting faster and it's getting hotter and it's getting more intense, and you see the little nuances of sheet grabbing and lip biting and toes. Man, that thing explode. Next thing you know,
which I think is a very important point that you make all the time, that women, we have our insecurities, and that it's the husband's job to make sure that he love that insecurity away, because that could be another reason why people are having sex in the dark. She's not secure about
we had this conversation. We were talking about if there's any aspect of insecurity that's taking place in a wife, then that's the husband's problem. He got to fix it. He's the solution, right? Physically, here's two things that's important, and we're gonna look at it from both sides. As far as my wife is concerned, there's nothing that let's look at take the physical that you were talking about. There's nothing physically that she can do as far as being overweight, being underweight, being too big, being too small, that she can do that's going to cause me not to love her beyond measure. Nothing she can physically do. That don't mean, though, I want you to be overweight. It don't mean that.
Right.
But at the same time, I'm gonna love you regardless of that. Don't worry about that. My role is to make her feel, whether she's 200 pounds or whether she's 120 pounds, to make her feel so loved that she wouldn't walk around naked. She wouldn't walk around like listen, I don't care. I might have this going on, but I know he loved that. He loved that extra piece of what that is right there. He loved that. he gonna hold on to that, right? But on the other side of it, you want to present yourself to your spouse as beautiful as you possibly can, right? The whole idea of it is, what do you want me to look like? How do you want my body to look? What do you want to do? Because I'm here for your enjoyment, and you're there for his enjoyment. So what do you want? So that means I got to take care of my body, and I got to do certain things. Then that's what I'll do, because I want you to have the ultimate pleasure. That's marriage. I want you to have the ultimate experience of being pleased, even when you look at me. You just looking at me should make your belly tingle.
That could be a hard conversation for some people to have,
especially nowadays.
And it might not even be a conversation they should have by themselves. It might be a situation where they need to be a relationship rep. I'll talk to them about it. Don't worry about it. I can talk to her. But that's what it's supposed to be. The sexual relationship, every inch of the woman was designed to arouse the man, and every inch of the man was designed to arouse the woman. That's the idea of it. And I can give you scripture that talk about being ravished and having all these different words, adjectives to express how we should feel, how she should be longing, he should be drunk. Right? She should be passionate, he should be ravished with her love. Right? She should be pursuing, he should be chasing as well. Like we see all that in the Song of Solomon. You see all those things taking place. We both should be sick of love. We both should be drunk of love. We both should be woozy in love.
And see, well, people feel like that's only like a honeymoon phase. That's not something that carries out. Why you keep looking at me like that?
Because you're talking, but they wrong.
Oh,
they wrong.
Like, why you keep looking at me like?
No, they're wrong. They're actually wrong. And that's just what it is. Right. The honeymoon phase. Remember, that's biblically speaking, that's the 1 year that they would get for the culture of love to be established. See, the honeymoon phase, here's what people mess up about the honeymoon phase. I'm glad you brought that up because we've never really touched on this. But the honeymoon phase is this parenthetical period in the husband's and wife's mind where we're going to go and we're going to have something that we're not going to normally have. The same thing carry over into the vacation, right? But the honeymoon phase is designed to establish something that's supposed to remain permanently.
Right.
That's the idea. The honeymoon phase is they get it from the Bible's husbands and wives take a whole year off. But the idea of that is for the husband to cleave to the wife.
Right.
In other words, establish the culture by which our love relationship is going to be founded upon. So the honeymoon in our day-to-day should be where this is how we're going to treat each other. This is how we're going to talk to each other. Here's how we're going to care for each other. Right. It ain't about going to the Bahamas or going to somebody's island and getting lost in the sand. It ain't about that. It's about bringing that back, bringing that mindset back, bringing that spirit back, bringing that love back to our everyday life.
So do you think that the culture of taking those big honeymoons should be done away with then? Because it can create an unrealistic expectation.
Well, I wouldn't say done away, because what part of that can be the unrealistic part is going to the hotel room and being pampered and going to the island and
only having time for one another in that instance.
Right, but the idea of loving you in that special way, the idea of serving you, the idea of pleasing you, which is what happens on most honeymoons, should remain. That's every day. The spirit of the honeymoon is what we should be living on a daily basis. The aesthetics of the honeymoon might not be realistic at that particular time, depending on where you are economically. Right. The aesthetics of the honeymoon might not be able to be manifested on a regular basis. But the spirit of it, which produces the attitude, which produces the mindset, which produces the ideas and the creativity to please and bring pleasure to my spouse, that's every day. That's every day.
I've noticed some busy couples that I know that they take a lot of vacations because they can, and most times that's the only time that they have to spend with one another, be intimate, and all that kind of stuff. Can you talk about the right way to handle that situation when you're working a lot? Because when I look at that, I say to myself, they could have that same, vacation culture at home. And it would probably be so much more healthy for their marriage and for the way that they spend time and communicate with each other and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I think it starts with a simple thought, but it's about making time. I'm sure if we sat down and we analyzed their daily activities in their life, I'm sure we can find time that they could sacrifice doing this, and they can eliminate this and find time to zero in and focus in on each other. I'm sure. Nobody's that busy. Right? Like, come on now. Right. Nobody's that busy to where they don't have time. I ain't gonna I ain't gonna quantify, but they don't have time to zero in on and focus on what needs to be done so that they can have that culture of love like they're supposed to have it. And again, I'm going to put that onus on the husband, because it's your responsibility. Christ made time to come down here and express and cleave to us. He made time. Everything he did in his ministry was an expression of him cleaving to his church, right? He made time to do it. He suffered through things to do it. He eliminated things to do it. That's what it takes. When you decided to say, let's get married, when you chose to obey God and get married, you made a monumental statement as a husband that you're going to listen. The first manifestation of man's many attributes was husbandry. For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave unto his wife. Was husbandry. Like, husbandry is critical before God, right? And the sexual relationship is a primary component of that. See, sex says so much. It says the first thing it says is I trust you. Like the idea of a woman opening up her legs and opening herself up and allowing a man to come inside of her, that says I trust you. Same for a man to be willing to take himself and insert himself inside of her, that says I trust you. Everything from your cleanliness to what you've said to me. It says, I trust you. Right? You sound like you want to say something?
No, I mean, I think that, the beauty of it has been lost in today's time. It's so casual, and with all the apps and how easily accessible and how easy it is to have sex the beauty of that you just explained has been lost.
The beauty of I desire you.
Right.
Man, I want you. Like I want you. Like come here. Like I want to be with you in a way that nobody else sees, nobody else knows, but you and I experience this thing in a way. It says I desire you. Mm-hmm. Like there's nothing. Everybody wants to feel wanted and wants to feel desired. Sex says I desire you in a way that I don't desire anybody else. It also says I'm yielded to you. I give in. It's the idea is because you're longing and you're pursuing. Okay, you caught me. You got me. You caught me. Here, have your way. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Zeros. It's beautiful. Yeah. We gotta stop.
You gotta stop. All right, look, you are doing good, Papa D.
Yeah, we gotta stop.
You are doing good, boss in the ball. Yeah.
Right.
I did my job.
Praise God. Praise God.
Well, thank you for joining us. Make sure you like, comment, share. And until then, make sure you stay safe and keep loving on purpose.